Everyone, welcome to today's English class. So today we are going to revise the lessons that I have given for your examination. So I would say the summary and would explain the grammar part. Okay, so the first lesson is Oliver finds a home. First lesson is Oliver finds a home. Do you remember the story of Oliver finds a home? What was the story? Yes, Oliver was an orphan. He was in an orphanage, but one day he came out from the orphanage because the orphanage members were ill-treated Oliver. So after coming out from the orphanage, the Oliver compared with the thieves, the robbers. And what happened? One day the robbers took Oliver to go to a home to rob the home. Then what happened? The house servants were caught them. The robbers were run from there, but Oliver get some wounds on his body and he fell down there. After that, the members in the family took Oliver to the home, and next day Dr. Osborne has came and treated Oliver well done. And when he woke up, Oliver told the story that he was an orphan and he came out from the orphanage and he accidentally met with the robbers. Actually, he is not a robber. That night, Oliver said to the family members, and the family members they feel innocent for him, so they didn't give Oliver to the police. They decided to keep Oliver in their home, and they took Oliver to their countryside home. There they sent him to learn to write and read, and he had a beautiful home there. So that's how Oliver gets a home, and he was very happy for that. And he, for the first time in his life, he is enjoying all those things. That's the story. Oliver finds a home. Next, there are textbook activities that we have already discussed when you came. Then section 1, the first question and second question you have to do yourself. Then numbering, the correct order, then tick the correct answers also you have to do yourself. Then the grammar is helping verbs and subject verb agreement. Helping words, the grammar part is helping verbs. What do you mean by helping verb? Helping verb, the such as is, am, then, was, where. Is, am, was, or, where, and are also. Then these are the helping verbs which used here. So, what do you mean by the helping verbs? What do you mean by verb? Verb is the action words. Then, what do you mean by helping verbs? Helping words which is used just before the verb to form the complete verb. For example, I am writing Raju is a boy, or Raju is running to the park. Raju is running to the park, and I am writing the boys are running The boys are running to the park. The boys are running to the park. So here, which is the verb here? Running is the verb in the both sentence. Okay, then which word is used just before the verb? Is and are. So the words which used just before the verb to form the complete verb are called helping verbs. Helping verbs, for easily we can say that to help the main verb. The words which used to help the main verb. Here Raju is running to the park, and here the boys are running to the park. Why it is different? The sentence is same, but is and are is used. Why? Because the subject is singular and plural. So if the subject, here subject is Raju, here the boys. Okay. If the subject is singular, you have to use singular helping verb. Then if the subject is plural, you have to use plural helping verbs. Here Raju is only one, it's a singular subject, so what do you use? Is. Then if it is boys, more than one is there, plural subject, so you can use are. Understand? Then like am is used with what? Am is used with only I. Am is used only with I. Then was, if the thing is already happened, we can use. If it is singular, we can use was. If it is plural, we can use were. Okay. So like that you have to learn and go through the textbook exercise given on the page 12. So in this lesson, what you want to learn is, important is the grammar exercise, then read and understand. Read and understand. Read and, in the textbook activities, the read and understand and the grammar part how to learn for the examination. Okay. Then moving on to the next lesson. This is the next lesson. Which is the next lesson? This is a poem. The next is a poem. Read the poem title. Read the poem title. Written in March. The poem written in March. Written in March. Who wrote the poem? William Wordsworth. Who wrote the poem? William Wordsworth. Then what is the poem about? The poem is about nature beauty. The poem is about nature beauty. So in the first answer, what the poet is saying? First answer, it's a morning time, the cock is crowing. Daddy is making sound. Then what is the atmosphere there? The stream is flowing there, some birds were making some sounds. Then the lake is glittering in the sunlight. The green field is overwhelming in the sunlight. Then some people were walking in the field and some cattle are having their food in the grassland. Okay, greenland. Then next answer, the poet is explaining about the mountain. The snow on the mountain is growing smaller. Then it is getting disappearing through the sunlight. Then now we can see the mountain very clearly. Then a plough boy is there. He is making some sound and doing his work in the field. Then there is life in the fountain, and the poet seeing the clouds in the sky, the blue sky, how the clouds look like, how the ship is going through the sea, like that the clouds is moving through the blue sky. That's how the poet is explaining a morning time of a village and the nature beauty in the poem written in March. Okay, so the working with the poem, there is fill in the blanks with the correct form. You can understand that. I would read once. If anyone didn't get the answer, you have to fill it up now. Spring is here again. The snow is slowly disappearing from the mountains. The lady is bright and shiny. Small fluffy clouds are sailing in the blue sky. The green fields are basking in the sunlight. The stream flows laughing and the lake glitters like gold. The birds are singing, the ploughboy is whooping, and men and women are working in the fields. Then, preparing for the sowing, heads of cattle are grazing in the meadows. So, that's the first exercise. Next one, tick the correct answer that you had already learned. So, from this lesson, what you want to learn? You have to learn that first exercise, exercise A only. A, and the exercise B you have to learn. Exercise A and B you have to learn. Okay. Then moving on to the next lesson. How far is the river? How far is the river? A beautiful story. Do you remember the summary of the story? How far is the river? Yes, a young boy who is lived in a village, he has a wish. He had a wish. What is that wish? Yes, he want to see the river in that village. He want to see the river in the village. But there is a problem. What is that problem? The river is far away from his house. What? The river is far away from his house. Then one day, his parents were out from the home. They were went to a relative's home. So the boy thought that this is the best chance he ever got to go to the river. Because what? The river is far from the home. The parents were not allowed him to go to the river. So whenever the parents were not at the home, the boy decided to go and watch the river. So from the home he has taken one loaf of bread and packed it, and he started to walk to the river. So on the way he has met with a woodcutter. He has met with a woodcutter, and what the woodcutter told? What the woodcutter told? The woodcutter told that the river is far from here, 7 miles to go. There is 7 miles to the river. So he said, when the boy is going to the river, when he coming back, what happened? The day will be night. There is the night time he can come back. The boy can come back only at the night time. So what the boy said? What he said? He said that he is a good walker. Distance is not a problem. He is a good walker. He can walk a long way. So telling like that, the boys again started to walk to the river. Then the way to the river. How it's look like the way to the river? Yes, the way to the river is very slippery way where stones are there, and the boy slipped once or twice and he fell down, but he didn't came back. He started to walking where he fell down. He didn't came back to the home. So walking like that, he has met with a girl who is there to cut the grass. So the girl have bangles in his ears and the hand. The boy asked the girl, how far is the river? How far is the river? What the girl said? The river is 20 miles away from here. The river is 20 miles away from here. What the boy said? He just laughed and started to walk. So what the woodcutter told? Woodcutter told that 7 miles, and the girl now is saying 20 miles. Then the boy didn't give up. He again started to walk. Then on the way, he met with another boy. On the way, he met with another boy. Who is that? A boy who came with some sheep, herd of sheep to the forest. Then what they do? The boy and the shepherd boy, both were the village boy, both were had the bread. The boy shared his bread and had it. And after that, for a long time, these two of them walked together. The village boy and the boy who came with the sheep walked together, but at a point the way is diverged. The boy who came with the sheep go through another way. Our boy is going to the river. Then after what happened? When he was alone, when our boy is alone, he felt some tiredness. He felt some tiredness. He felt the sunlight, the bright sunlight, the hot sunlight. His legs were paining. Many problems are there, but he didn't give up. The boy didn't give up. He started to walk again. And what happened? At last, he reached the river. So whenever the boy is standing at his home, a mountain stood in between them. So after the mountain, only the river. So the boy crossed all the long way and crossed the mountain, and at last he reached at the river. So that's the story. How far is the river? Then the textbook activities is very easy. Tick the correct answers on the first page. Then answer the following questions. All things were in the notebook. Only 5 questions are there. How to learn. Then again tick the correct answers you should know. Then working with the words, play with the words is okay. And next the grammar part. Grammar part is pronouns. So you are going to learn what is pronoun. You know what is noun. Nouns are naming words. So what do you mean by pronoun? Pronoun means the words which used in the place of noun. For example, Geetu is tall. Geetu can climb the trees. Geetu is a smart girl. Yeah, look at the board. Gidu is tall. Gidu can climb the trees. Gidu is a smart girl. So the paragraph is small paragraph, small sentences given about data about Gidu. So first sentence, look at the first sentence. Gidu is tall. Then Gidu can climb the trees. Gidu is smart girl. So which name is repeating here? Gidu is repeating here, isn't it? Here and here. So to avoid the repetition of the words or the names, what we do? We can use another words. We can use another word like that. Gidu is tall. She can. I used she here. She can climb the trees. Then she is a smart girl. She is a smart girl. So first sentence we are saying about Gidu. Gidu is tall. Then we can understand that she can climb the trees. Then the sentence is continuing. Then we can understand that she is referred to Gidu. Then Gidu is a smart girl. There we have used in the place of Gidu she. She is a smart girl. So pronouns means the words which we use in the place of nouns. The words we use in the place of nouns we can call pronouns. For pronouns examples are there. Which are the pronouns? He, she, it, they are, then, them, it's, like that. Many pronouns are there. So nouns means naming words and pronouns means the words which we use in the place of noun. We call pronouns. So pronouns you have to learn how to learn that exercise. The next one is, the next grammar part is WH words. Which one? WH words. WH words. Which are the WH words in English? We have already learned that. Which are they? What, then when, where, whose, whom, who, like that. What, when, whose, where, whom, who, like that. So the words is starting with which letters? W, H. W, H. That's why we call these words WH words. And these WH words are used to ask questions. To ask questions. It is used to ask questions. Okay, for example, what is your name? You can ask, isn't it? What is your name? Like that. Where is your house? Who is your father? Who's this pen? Like that we can ask. So the WH words are used to ask questions. So in that lesson, the grammar parts, first one pronouns. Pronouns are the words which we used in the place of nouns we call pronouns, and WH words are used to ask question. We can use it at the beginning of the sentence, no problem. Okay, so those exercises you have to learn. So in this lesson you have to give importance to the textbook activities. Textbook activities, then how to learn the grammar part. The exercise from the grammar is very important. The grammar part also you have to learn. Okay, then take the next lesson. Next lesson is An Earth Day Carol. An Earth Day Carol. Do you remember the story? Summary. Is that a story? Is that a story? No, it is not a story. It is a play. It is a play. Play means what? Play means drama. So in the story you can see that your stories are divided into section 1, section 2 like that. So here the play is divided into acts. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 like that. Okay. So the story is An Earth Day Carol. The play An Earth Day Carol. So play. Do you remember the summary? An Earth Day Carol. It is the story. What is the summary? Earth Day Carol. Ebenezer Littlebug is a boy. What he do? He is throwing the trash, throwing the garbage on the street on the way. So some children advised him, don't do that. Don't throw waste in the street. So what he said, there are workers to clean the street. It is not my job. Telling like that, he threw the garbage on the street and went to the home. Then, scene 2, Act 2, what happened? Act 2 in Act 2. Yes, Adam, Ebenezer's bedroom. He went to sleep that time. Ghost of Earth Day past come. Ghost of Earth Day past come and took Ebenezer to the world which is on the years ago. He took Ebenezer to years ago, the time of years ago. There he can see there is no waste materials in that time. In that time there is no waste materials. Then the ghost of Earth Day past took back Ebenezer to the bedroom. And in the next act, what we can say? Next act we can see Earth Day present. Ghost of Earth Day present came and took Ebenezer to a place where the children are planning something. The children are planning something. What they are planning? They are planning how to save the earth. How to save the earth. Then they are planning, don't waste the water, don't waste the energy like electricity. Then we have to recycle the things, we have to reuse the things, don't throw it anywhere. Then Ebenezer understand all things, he went back to the home. For the last time, the last who came, Earth Day, ghost of Earth Day future. Ghost of Earth Day future. What the Earth Day future show him? The years after. So after what he has seen, he can see, Ebenezer can see what? The earth is full of waste materials, garbages. There is no greenery in the earth. There is no greenery in the earth, only the waste materials. So that time Ebenezer understand one thing. What he understood? What he understood? Yes, the world, the earth was very greenery, very peaceful at a time, but in this time at present all the human beings were throwing the garbages in the street, not put it in the waste bin or not make it a recycle. And what will happen in the future? If it is go like that, the future time is very difficult because there is no greenery in the earth, only the waste materials. So Ebenezer understand all things. So finally he go to the children who are planning for Earth Day celebration. So they planned it. So Ebenezer also joined with that Earth Day Carol. So that's the play. So you have to go with the textbook exercise. Then grammar part. The grammar part is adverbs. What is adverbs? We have already learned that what do you mean by adverbs. What do you mean by adverbs? Adverbs are the words which we used in the to say about words, to say more about verb, to say give more information about verb. We can use the words that we call adverbs. So we can divide these adverbs. There is three types of adverbs mainly. Which are they? Adverb of manner. Then next one is adverb of place. Adverb of place, and the next one adverb of time. Adverb of time. So we can mainly divide there is three main adverbs which are there: adverb of manner, then adverb of place, and adverb of time. Then first one, adverb of manner. What is adverb of manner? The words which used to say how the thing happened, how the action happened. So adverb of manner tell us how the action happened or happens or going to happen. The next one is adverb of place. So adverb of place, the words used to say adverb of place which tell us where it happened, where the things or where the action took place. Then next one, adverb of time. It tells us when the action took place. When the action took place. So adverbs means what? The words which we use to tell more information about the verb or telling more about verbs. The words used to say that we call adverbs. So there are mainly three adverbs which are there: adverb of manner, adverb of place, and adverb of time. Then what do you mean by adverb of manner? Adverb of manner means how the action happened or happens or going to happen. Then adverb of place tell us what? Where does the action happened or happens or going to happen. Then adverb of time, when does the action took place or happens or going to happen. So adverbs and adverb of manner, adverb of place, and adverb of time. How to learn through the exercise. Down you have some exercise that you have to write and study. Okay. So moving on to the next one, that is the poem A Fine Day. A Fine Day. Who is the author of that poem? Catherine Mansfield. Who is the author of the poem? Catherine Mansfield. Then, A Fine Day. A Fine Day, which is written by Catherine Mansfield. So in this poem, what is the poet telling? What the poet telling? Yes, there is a sunlight, there is sun has came after a long rainy days. After a long rainy days. So first you can see that the poet is telling to the child, go to the garden and see what happens there. What happened there? After a long rainy days, the sun has came, so the garden is full presently. A pleasant mode is there. What is that pleasant mode? The flowers are bloomed there. Then the birds were singing there on a lilac tree. Then there is many butterflies or the pleasant thing. The sky is also clear. Then at last the poet is telling to the child, you have to say thank to sun. Why? Because one day this child told that the sun has forgotten us. The sun has forgotten us. Why? Because there is no sun For a long days there is only rainy days. So the child thought that sun has forgotten them. So at last the poet is telling to the child, she has to say thanks to whom? To the birds and flowers and all over for the sun, for everything. It is because the sun has rose, that's why the atmosphere is pleasant now. So that's the poem, A Fine Day. So working with the poem, you have to go through the question answers. So first one, why are the speaker and child so happy? Because it is a sunny day after long rainy days. Then where is the speaker asking the child to go? To the garden. Where? To the garden. Then next one, what made the child think that the sun had forgotten that they lived there? Why the child told like that the sun has forgotten them? Because for a long days there is only rain, there is no sunlight. Then fourth one, whom does his refer to into the bubbles in his lifted thought? The bird. This is the bird. Who is singing there? The bird is singing there. Then fifth one, what is the speaker asking the child to the sun for? The poet telling the child to say thanks to the sun. Then when the speaker in the poem says fly into the garden child, she is asking the child to run out into the garden. When the speaker in the poem says fly into the garden, so after a long rainy days the sun has rose, sunrise, then there is full sunlight in the garden, the flowers were bloomed and the birds were singing songs. The completely a happy mood is there, so that the poet told the child to run to the garden. Then next one is working with the words, you have to learn that one. Then once again we would revise the lessons. First one was Oliver finds a home. Oliver finds a home is the story about Oliver who was an orphan and at last he got a home. He found a home himself. Then in that lesson you have one grammar part, which is that you have to learn what is helping verbs and what is the subject verb agreement. So helping verbs are the words which we use just before the verb to complete the verb. So you have to learn that textbook activities. Then the next lesson is written in March. In that poem, the poet William Wordsworth is explaining the nature, beauty. Then from that you have to learn that textbook activities. So only two stanzas there. First stanza is telling about the morning time. The cock is crowing, then the sunlight has came on, the stream is flowing, the lake is glittering, the men and women were walking in the field. And the second stanza is telling what? Telling how the snow disappeared from the mountain. Then next lesson, how far is the river, is the story of a boy who wished to see a river that is far away from his house. There is a mountain stood in between the boy and the river, but he has walked a long way and at last he found the river. Then in that lesson, which grammar part you want to learn? You want to learn the pronouns. What do you mean by pronouns? Pronouns are the words which we used in the place of nouns. Then for example, he, she, them, it, they, their, like that. Okay. The next one, Earth Day Carol, is a play about Earth Day, how to save the earth. And in that the grammar part is adverbs. Adverbs are the words which we use to say more about, to give more information about verb. And there is three types of adverbs: adverbs of manner, adverbs of place, adverbs of time. And the next one is a poem, A Fine Day, which is written by Catherine Mansfield. In that the poet is telling about the sunlight, after a long rainy days, how the sunlight has come. That textbook activities also you have to learn. Thank you.